Hey, Paul.
Hey, guys.
Take two.
Yeah, a little bit rusty after not being on the pod for the last 2 weeks.
2-week break, man. We haven't had many this year.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah. Look, mine was a bit more of a break for a holiday.
We actually haven't even really spoken since
No.
you were away, then I was away. So how was the holiday?
Holiday was awesome. I actually underestimated how much I needed that short little break. Cruised down to the Kruger with the family, and yeah, man, it was lekker. Actually, you know, we've said this a couple of times on the pod, but South Africa has got so much to offer, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're cruising in through the Kruger there. We stopped at Skukuza the one day for chow there, and I got to see, you know, all these tourists. It was a different kind of vibe.
It is.
It really is cool. But yeah, I loved it. Saw some animals, lots of those green Heineken cans.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned South Africa because I had planned to say a few things as well. But other than that, roads going down, quality of the place you stayed.
Lekker, hey? The roads were perfect. Look, it wasn't like peak season, so we didn't have any major traffic, but the
That's
quality
the
of the
best.
roads. Funny enough, going down to the Eastern Transvaal, as we used to call it, what they have done is they've changed all the names now. So all the cities' names, you know, you used to, remember, we rode our bikes down to Hazyview.
Yeah.
You go past Belfast and Machadodorp. All those names have changed.
No way.
Unrecognizable.
Serious.
You can't even pronounce most of the places that you drive past now.
Particularly after a few Heinekens.
But the toll gates have changed.
Okay.
It seems to be a little bit easier to go through. But yeah, tolls are expensive, eh?
They
You
are.
pay through your ring in toll gates. But other than that, it was all good.
You went
It was-
down with a whole whack of people. So what the hell did you travel in?
We hired a Quantum.
Yeah.
On the back, it said Hi Ace. But there were like 10 of us in this 14-seater. So we traveled like in some African rhythm, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to get into the South African vibe, I suppose.
But it was lekker. But I must say, those vehicles aren't easy to drive.
Not.
No. So I got a newfound appreciation for the daily operators of those vehicles.
Really?
Yeah. It's a cuck thing to drive.
Serious? Too big.
Yeah, it's just shit to drive.
Is
The
it?
accelerator sits up here, your ankles get sore. I understand why, you know,
Yeah.
hang out the window. It's just
That's not cool.
it's not my vibe. I wouldn't be buying one of those. So
Yeah.
I'm glad it was a rental.
No, nice.
Yeah.
But no, good. You had a good trip. And then I think sort of the day you got back, then
Yeah, you hooked it to Paris.
I hooked it to Paris. Yeah.
More for work, though.
Yeah, it was for work. It was flipping busy. You know what it's like.
Hey, chaotic.
It's just chaotic. It was busy. But it was a successful trip. It's always nice to go on a European trip or any trip anywhere. It's awesome. But in saying that, again, I just came back with a newfound, not newfound, but just a renewed, I suppose, appreciation of South Africa. But there are some things that we just do much better.
Yeah.
It's and I say this tongue in cheek because you know, we all know South Africa is not perfect. I think anywhere where you live in the world is not perfect.
Yeah.
But there is an element of what you make of it. I often say to you about Dylan Skura.
Yeah.
You know, Dylan could move to a flipping cave in Timbuktu and he would make it work. He's that type of guy.
Yeah.
And I think with us in South Africa in particular, we've had so much difficulty the past few years navigating around things like load shedding. And, you know, it's very easy to become negative about the place. But lately, there's just a huge amount of positivity around South Africa, particularly from our sport and all the rest. And, you know, man, when you go across to Europe, there are certain things where, you know, we are definitely way ahead in terms of sort of just like first world things. There are some things that are quite backwards in that part of the world. But anyway, my beloved Air France let me down. Bad.
Yeah, you'd mentioned
Badly.
that your trip home wasn't
Yeah.
exactly.
My
Smooth
trip home
sailing.
did not go according to plan, pal. Yeah, we were on the Airy for, it was one of those trip sevens, and we were on the plane for maybe 4 hours on the ground. Captain makes an announcement. He says they got a problem with the fan. So I was like, okay,
which
cool.
one?
Which one? Yeah, is it the big fan at the front of the engine, or is it a fan cooling an instrument or whatnot? So communication, let's hand it. There was probably a language barrier type of vibe there, but nonetheless, you're sitting there and all I want is a little bit of Jen. Is it because you can normally tell.
Yeah.
Is this going to be something that's going to make you spend the night there? Or is it like, no, this is a fix, I'm going to sort this out quickly. But I couldn't, for 4.5 hours sitting there. Yeah. This isn't looking good. So as time went on, it sort of got more and more obvious that there's no ways that we're leaving Paris. Anyway, the flight gets cancelled. And again, often talk about this because you and I have kids, but I just felt for the families, man.
Yeah.
Because you could see the moms and dads all geared their kids up to be sleeping basically by the time you boarded. Now they're like sort of being woken up to taken out the airport. Paul, when an international flight is cancelled and you're in Europe and that, and you've been through, what Charles de Gaulle is like there to get your passport stamped and that.
It's a Horlicks, man.
That's a Horlicks. And so there's this lone young Air France sort of rep that is now guarding these 400 pissed off Safers through Charles de Gaulle at, I don't know, I think it was about 1:30 in the morning. And again, probably something that you wouldn't see in South Africa, and even you and I for our old airline, which was pretty rinky-dink at times, but we were delayed a lot, so we were quite good at handling delayed packs. Yeah. And, there was always a smiley, happy customer rep at the bottom of the stairs that, I found would try and look after these passengers or, at least direct them in the, where to go. But there in Paris, you kind of like, okay, the rep has now hightailed it with the business class packs. Yeah. You sort of where we're supposed to go here. You've basically got a U-turn the whole way through the airport, find your way to passport control, queue up again now for passport control, get your stamp out, go into the terminal, find a door. You've got to basically end up in baggage claim, get back upstairs somehow, go find your way to counter number 6, where you can go and collect your T-shirt for the night because your bag stays on the plane.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey?
You don't get your baggage, which I suppose is maybe a positive thing because it'd be a bit of a hack to have your bag. But, I was at work the whole day on Friday. So I had my work kit on since 6 in the morning. And then I went from the office straight to the airport. So I had a full day of grafting.
So you're really feeling a bit musky.
I was feeling a little bit, when you've got that sort of funky smell. I already had that. Yeah. Now it's sort of, now your sense of humor failure sort of enunciators blinking a bit there. But anyway, you get across to the counter, and they're very good. They give you a little dinner pack, which I didn't bother with, and a pack which has got a T-shirt, basically toothpaste, toothbrush, a comb, so anything that you would sort of need in this little bag. So it's pretty legit that way. And I had a Sky Priority ticket, so slightly more expensive tickets. So I thought, they'll look after me tonight. I'll have a decent kip, and then I'm sure we'll leave early the next day. No, it wasn't the case, man.
Just the number, bro.
Just the number. Got the vouchers. So you get a voucher now for the bus that's going to take you to this hotel. Now, it's happened to me before. Myself and my old man were on the flight. Happened to me probably a year ago, actually. A year ago, pretty the same time. And the overnight accommodation was at Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
It was awesome. A real fancy hotel. The plane then left 7 o'clock again the next morning. So we only kept there for about 3 hours, and then they called us and downstairs. And so I'm not running the airline down. They obviously do have a proper system for dealing with this. The captain actually made an announcement, and it was hard to understand, but he said something like their policy is not to depart their home base with a technical item, which to me sounded like, okay, so it is deferrable, but they just don't want to go.
Take the chance,
Yeah, so that's what it sounded like, at least. But so I get my voucher for the bus and the hotel, and now you've got to find where this bus is sort of departing from. So I sort of follow the crowd right down to the other end of Terminal 2E there in Charles de Gaulle. And, maybe half an hour later now, double-decker bus comes to pick everyone up. But, no one knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's some sort of older people there asking questions, and some people were sort of stuff that I'm not waiting for the bus. I'm going to catch a taxi. I didn't actually know that the hotel, because I didn't recognize the name of the hotel, but the name of the hotel was on my voucher there, so I could have caught an Uber there if I'd known. But I got to this hotel. This was the dodgiest hotel. I'm not going to mention its name, but it was the dodgiest hotel I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. It was flipping manky, man. And it's now 3:15, 3:30 in the morning. Now the thing that's stressing me out is my old man was going to come fetch me at the airport the next morning. My wife and kids are expecting me back, so I thought, cool, well, I'll just send a message. No Wi-Fi in the hotel because my name is not there as a booked. I'm not on a booking. It's one of those ones where, for whatever reason, you have to put your name in and your room number, and then you get Wi-Fi. Stupid system, because nowhere else works like it. But so I can't use the Wi-Fi. So I'm like, shit. Okay, let me get up here and have a bit of I'll freshen up a bit. Go to the bathroom. Bathroom is so dirty, bro.
Oh man,
shit.
Hey?
So anyway, managed to wash my face, and then it came time to open up the bed, and I just saw things in the bed that were not representative of a good night's sleep. So I actually, we've stayed at the Penta a few times. You haven't stayed at the Penta in Paris, eh?
No, not that.
The Penta, I know, is not far away from this hotel. So long story short, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm now a bit late, maybe 4:35. I'm walking to the Penta just to go sit at their bar until I catch Uber back to the airport the next day. That's how bad the hotel room was. There was no way I could stay in that room. There was just no ways. I just couldn't bring myself to it. And anyway, ended up okay. Had a few beers early in the morning there, just because you like, there's nothing else to do. Yeah. Didn't bother catching the bus back, just caught Uber back to the airport. Flight home the next day was middle of the day, 1:30 departure. So it was about a 16-hour delay. But anyway, back to South Africa safe. That's all that matters. Yeah. And at the end, it was pretty well looked after. But there's a scene in the scene from Pulp Fiction when they're in the car and what's his name? John Travolta is telling
Samuel L.
Jackson about Europe.
Yeah,
he's like, you get the same shit there that you do here. That's exactly it. But it's like the little things. Yeah, like I go one night to grab a meal, and I'm by myself. So you know what it's like eating by yourself. It's like a bit lonely in the first place. But so I go to a place that I know.
Drink to compensate.
Yeah, I go to a place that I know, and I sit down. I order, because I know they have, they always have very nice Stella draft there. So I order a Stella.
So that little place in Royce, I think we were there last time. I think I know which place.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So the waiter says, "No Stella." So I'm like, "Well, what else do they have, but?"
Yeah.
You know, like, and he's like,
Yeah.
and there was another South African table that they were laughing because, yeah. But like, it wouldn't happen here.
No.
It would never happen here. The hospitality in South Africa is on another planet. The same when I say when we got off the aircraft, there was no like, "Don't worry, we'll look after you." Kind of like on your own. You just sort of, and it works there. Don't get me wrong. It works, but it's not the way we operate here in South Africa. If you want to go to a restaurant here and you want to sit there all day, they will not once come and try and edge you out.
No.
They'll just look after you all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're a very welcoming country. And you sort of, I don't know if it's my age or I don't know what it is, but I just started to kind of, I want to get the hell home pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They could do another thing there. You want to go buy a Coke or something, and you go to a shop, a normal shop, like a Spar, Pick and Pay or whatever. You take it out the fridge. The fridges are never flipping cold, man.
Yeah.
They're never cold. So you got this now, you know, like our buddy Coke type things.
Yeah.
And they do this other thing. The guys living in Europe will appreciate this. So you take the lid off the Coke. It's got this dodgy little piece of plastic that holds the lid to the
bottle.
The bottle.
Oh, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you don't, obviously because of plastic and they don't want. But now you're drinking this. So you always have to rip this bloody thing off. But now you have this very sharp bit of plastic
sticking you in the face. It's just shit.
So it's like little things like that. All in all, good trip. But the little things were annoying me.
It's like you say, it's the little things that make us realize that South Africa, despite all that shit, ain't all that bad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It makes you appreciate it. And then on top of that, just some. It was now 1 o'clock in the morning, landing back in Joey's. Of course, there weren't many flights, but there were 4 or 5 passport controllers there, and the line moved rapidly. Europeans don't mind queuing all day. They'll sit in a queue all day.
That shit
You
drives
go
me
to
nuts,
you grab a coffee or something, and you're waiting at the airport for a queue. They just happily wait in the queue. My mind automatically goes to like, who can I pay to skip this line to get? They don't care. And, you just queue for everything there. And where here, you don't. But anyway, lots of negative things spoken about Joburg Airport in particular with passport control. I did not see that at all. There was a very friendly man said, "Hey, it's been a long night for you. Welcome back. Here's your stamp." I was like, good to be back, man. Good to be back. And, I had actually a bra planned with a good mate of mine. He lives in PE. Or what's that?
like back or something like that.
And it is called PE. And he was coming for a bra with his whole family. So I was pretty amped to get back in time for that the next day. Let's jump into the aviation news before we bore everyone to death with our personal traveling stories. SARS has granted a special 1-year permission to import jet fuel, preventing a supply crisis at airports like OR Tambo. The move addresses regulatory delays and difficulties with fuel importation and storage licensing. The fuel industry has assured normal supply will continue during the holiday season.
Where are we going to import fuel from?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
I don't know. It's probably in the article there that I should have read a bit further, but that's about as interesting as I found it. There has been an issue with jet fuel, but for some reason, I thought it was localized to Cape Town. I don't know why. It always just seemed Cape Town was affected. But
a while ago, there was a lot of shit here in Joburg, but that was all to do with the supply lines, and I think Eskom was involved there. Somewhere. But anyway, whatever.
All right. Airlink is pleased to announce a new code share with Qantas, Who don't they have a code share with?
Yeah.
Significantly enhancing its network and connectivity across Southern Africa. So that means that the QF code will you'll see that on the boards in South Africa.
Okay. So you're going to fly Airlink to Sydney.
You can fly Qantas on Airlink
To Palaboa.
from Kimberley to Sydney, which is kind of cool, I suppose. Staying with Qantas, they're increasing their US service by 13% and introducing a new route from Brisbane to, how do you pronounce that? Palau. The airline will start using A220 aircraft for flights from Darwin to Singapore, enhancing capacity. Additionally, Qantas will stop flights from Sydney to Seoul, with Jetstar increasing its service frequency on that route.
Lots of Aussie news.
Aussie news. Some local, going back to some local news here. Our friends at FlySafair, it's been 10 years.
Yeah, can you believe it?
That's pretty cool.
I still remember them starting up. We were still with Sex then, and it was a lot of talk in the town back then, watching them start up and everybody wishing them luck, competing with all the major airlines on the Golden Triangle.
Yeah.
And now they're like...
Now they're the main dogs.
Yeah.
The big dogs. From having just 2 aircraft and 1 route between Joburg and Cape Town to now operating 5,000 flights a month between 13 destinations, realizing the dream of becoming the largest low-cost carrier in South Africa. Yeah, they've actually been pretty remarkable, hey?
Yeah.
Their growth has been remarkable. And they seized the opportunity, I suppose, through COVID and just haven't looked back.
Yeah. Look,
and even if we were still operating with the full might of with Spuries version 1, Mango, SA Express, and even Comair, I feel that they would probably now still be the top dogs. They
always had that
pushing.
trajectory of going forward.
They did. In fairness, maybe they wouldn't be if those airlines were still operating, they wouldn't maybe have been able to expand that quickly in terms of pilots. I suppose. I suppose a lot of ex-Comair and Mango pilots at Safair.
Yeah.
Or Mango only had about 4 planes anyway. But yeah, well done, FlySafair. Delta Airlines is eliminating buddy passes for employees, friends, and family by 2026, but it's enhancing other travel perks. Employees will have increased access to higher priority standby tickets, which doesn't sound that cool. Higher priority standby tickets, and can nominate more companions for travel. The airline will also expand its Fly Confirmed for Less program, offering discounted confirmed tickets. I want to jump on this one for you because of my canned flight, I thought I'm going to go through the process of trying to claim for.
Did you get it right?
Well, I've put it through. I was watching a video. I think it was a Sam Chewy video the other day. I've got into lately. I don't know. I like watching these videos where the guys test out the business and first classes of the various airlines.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Cahill, I watched one of his again the other day where he drove the new Emirates premium economy class.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And I must watch that.
Sam Chewy's just done it recently as well. It's a brand new video of his art.
Yeah, Josh's ones are the best. Actually, I prefer watching this. But these ones that I've been watching have been like first class, like. And on some business class jets as well. But this was a first class video. And right at the break, he sort of jumped to an advert now. And then there was a company that he was advertising that basically does all these claims for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I noticed, so when you claim, you got the option of, you can either get cash. I think Europe, they have to offer you a cash option, but I think you can either boost up your miles, you can get a voucher for another ticket. So there's a few options, but noticing now, and particularly researching the pod, these perks and these offers, and they're becoming a much bigger thing. And the oak I was sitting next to on the way back, from Paris. He was saying, he's got quite a few miles now, and he just always uses it to bump himself up a class. And so going to something like this, you mentioned it a while back, the perks that pilots get, it's a pretty I know it doesn't impact you financially directly, but it's quite a major part of your package.
Yeah, I think more often than not, it's what allows the swing vote as to if someone's got two different options. It's like, I can go there and I can make this amount of money and I can have this amount of time at home, but these are the additional perks that come with it. Very often, I think, lead to how attractive an airline is for crew.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, out of interest, I mean, I didn't speak about this beforehand with you, and I don't know, but out of interest to be interested to know, any of the listeners, let us know what perks you get. Who's the best in terms of perks? Off the top of my head, I'd probably say Emirates, because I often see Emirates pilots' families flying business class backwards and forwards to.
Yeah.
But I don't so much on other airlines, and I don't know if that's just because we got more guys we know at Emirates that I'm seeing more of it, or
is it just because Emirates is that much bigger?
Is it?
And,
Yeah.
you know,
and the guys that are starting at Emirates now and these airlines, do they get the same perks that the guys did 10 years ago? And
it's an interesting topic to try and get a bit more info on, because it definitely does make you wonder and what are the perks that are available now? Because let's be honest, when we were at SAX, we had those.
The thing we had at SAX that I used a lot was the jump seat option on,
which was nice. The bulk of the crew used that.
Yeah,
on standby tickets weren't.
Standby tickets were standby just doesn't interest me.
They were shot.
You can't, if you've got a family, you're not going to travel on a standby ticket. So interesting. I'd be interested to know, is that a factor for the guys taking jobs at the moment or looking at new jobs, and who's got the best? Who's got the best perks?
Or is it all about the dollar?
I think so. It's obviously more about,
Yeah.
But a couple of tickets a year doesn't. It certainly helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Spirit Airlines is retiring its 319 fleet by Jan 2025 to streamline their ops and cut costs amid major financial struggles. The airline plans to focus on its 320 and 321 aircraft for better efficiency and flexibility. They're facing $3.3 billion debt. It's about the same as you and my credit card after all.
Yeah, pretty close to that.
Spirit's in talks with bondholders and considering restructuring options as bankruptcy looms. Doesn't look good for Spirit. When you start reading articles like that at your airline, not going to book a long-term ticket with Spirit right now.
No. Must be a couple of crew there scrolling the pilot job portals looking for places with the best perks.
That's another thing. One of the subjects that has come up and we've spoken about, and I often in particular say, talk about the opportunities there in the States. I've seen a few graphs lately where there was actually, I think it was Visual Analytics put out a graph. Visual Analytics, if you don't follow them, get their newsletter, it's well worth it. Just Google search them. They take something random and they make these awesome graphs out of it.
Yeah.
There was one the other day with, in terms of pilot hire and looking at the States in particular. It's not all sunshine and rainbows if you're a pilot in the States.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
There's that dip is sort of not looking Ioba at the moment.
It's always like that though. We had a massive recovery after COVID, and I think
they overcompensated.
Yeah, so it's bound to happen.
But the Boeing saga and the supply chain of Airbus and it's causing major issues, and it's now. We basically the airline industry has its own little COVID-like scenario going on because COVID affected everyone, but this Airbus story, it's they can't produce the planes as quick as they'd like, and we know what's going on with Boeing. We still don't know if Boeing will even survive.
Yeah, that's going to be the big question
for the next few
forward.
years. Delta Airlines is serving Panera Bread. Have you been? It's a big chain of bakeries there in the States. To first-class passengers on some flights from Detroit after a listeria outbreak closed their local catering kitchen. The airline had to find alternative food sources. After at least 200 flights left Detroit without hot meals. Previously, Delta faced issue with moldy meals from its catering provider, providing temporary measures like serving only vegetarian meals. How important are meals to you on a plane?
Yeah, it's a bit of a hit and miss. I think most of the time, like, I would always, when I'm traveling long haul, try and chow before I fly, because you're not always certain that you're going to get a substantial meal or even something that's that nice on board.
So I did that exact thing this time. I went to Woolies before.
Yeah.
I bought like all the stuff I'd need.
Yeah.
You know, fresh sandwich, chicken avo sandwich, Woolies one in the fridge. Go to the airport, jump on the plane. Sandwich is still in the fridge. Shit. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was pretty bummed out.
Yes.
But yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But to some people, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you know how you know? If you listen to the complaints of people sometimes that are sitting in the seats.
Yeah.
The meal that I had on Air France out of South Africa was awesome. It was really good.
Yeah, what did they serve you coming back? Because now
No, you get your same, like basically get your same catering.
So
but
you end up getting like a breakfast for lunchtime or...
yeah, it wasn't bad. But they, I don't think they screw with the catering. They just leave it as it was.
Look, 9 times out of 10, I think the catering is also just there to combat boredom.
True.
I would just
exactly
chow it because it's something to do.
Exactly. And then you regret it straight away because now you got this tray on your lap and you can't move.
Yeah. Well, the airline reviewers have quite a lot to say about that. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then the DOT has fined Lufthansa $4 million for removing 128 Jewish passengers from a flight due to a mask mandate issue. I'm going to skip and go to the end of the article here. It says, the airline denies discrimination, but it has agreed to a settlement and is working on sensitivity training for its staff. I thought that's something that I could send you on.
yeah, I could use a bit of that.
Yeah.
But
for the pod and for our day-to-day.
Oh, really?
No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Germans. Do you think they're going to fall for sensitivity training?
Well, if you read the article, it obviously wasn't intentional. It was a bit of a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
But quite a big misunderstanding. And then I like this post. Daniel Priestley put this up the other day. SpaceX has people questioning themselves this week. Elon launches robo-taxis, helper robots, and AI data centers in a week. Then he sends a skyscraper into space and has it fall back to Earth and 3D parallel park. Meanwhile, we're all proud of hosting a Zoom call, hitting the gym twice, and posting a decent update on LinkedIn without any spelling errors. I really like it.
That'll put it into perspective.
It does, eh?
Yeah.
Eh?
Old Elon's on another level.
Yeah, he's on another level.
I was watching a thing on YouTube's last night about these robo-taxis that he's just launched.
Yeah, I also, because I saw this and I thought, what is this robo-taxi thing?
Hosted like a massive reveal called We Robot. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like 30 of these taxis, look, they're like micro versions of the Cybertruck.
Yes.
But flipping cool, man.
But is this an autonomous? It's going to be autonomous.
There's
you
just sit there and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
What I like are these these helper robots. I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah, they're getting more and more human.
Yeah.
You know, every update you see, it's kind of crazy.
Go to the gate and fetch this, or it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, we had a convo yesterday. Obviously now Friday morning, we're trying to get this pod done. We've got a busy day up ahead. And we had to do a podcast this week because, it's been 2 weeks. But it was one of those weeks where you and I haven't had a couple of minutes together, never mind find 40 minutes for the pod.
Exactly.
And then sometimes you feel like just wind your neck in a little bit, yeah? And Elon is the guy that often makes me think that because of all the stuff he's got going on.
Yeah.
And then it puts your life into perspective.
True
But I
story.
like the thing there, a decent update on LinkedIn without any spelling errors. There's one oak. He writes something to me the other day. I can't remember what it was, but it was like the spelling police, telling me that there was a spelling mistake. It's like,
Fuck off, man.
fuck off. Poos. I hope you enjoyed the pod. I hope you have a good weekend. Oh, hang on. First of all, there's some special mentions. Your good mate, Keegan.
Yeah, Keegan and Kelly welcomed their brand new little fella into the world a day or two ago. And
Well done, guys.
Congratulations to him. And
Keegs is flying at Safair, eh?
yes, he's at Safair now.
Cool. Congrats, guys.
Yeah, all the best.
Awesome. Dale Williams was here. You missed him.
Did I?
Yeah, he was here day before yesterday.
Oh, shit.
I brought him into the pod room. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, lekker, man.
Yeah. So it was cool to see Dale. And unfortunately, Yaku Bester was here in South Africa right when I was had to fly to France and you were away.
Yeah.
So we couldn't see Yaku, but shout out to him.
Good, man.
And then just a special shout out as well to all the patrons, of course, for all your support. And you always feel bad 2 weeks not on the pod, but we haven't taken that many breaks this year to defend ourselves. But the guys support us nonetheless, guys and girls. So thank you so much.
No, we appreciate it. And I mean, there was a few notes that came out yesterday already saying, listen, no pod this week. Like,
What's going on?
what's happening?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I'm glad we put it out. And always good fun. Looking forward to the next one, pal.
F1 this weekend?
Yeah,
Austin.
it is. Yeah.
Who's your money on?
No, I'm flying a flag for Lando.
But you're a Ferrari guy.
Yeah, but that's going to change next year anyway. So I might as well transition now.
You're transitioning twice this week. Have a good one, pal. Cheers. Bye for now.
Cheers, man.